Konnichia to all the world! Ace here, of the D.valoids. Yes. So, what we just went through, just went through a murder, or a suicide. Turned out it was just a small prank. Yes, what they said, it was small. So, let's get back into this, yeah? It's not recess at... What's up all these names I can't read? Jane Institute. Yes. Ouse and I go for a walk outside of the... Ooh, gotta clear my throat. Of the school grounds. Wandering with no particular destination in mind. Through the street that... Ooh, I cannot talk today. Well, I can't ever talk. So... with no particular destination in mind, through the street that serves as the heart of our small town. It has become our routine. It's not even that big in the first place, but we live in a modest European town whose inhabitants thrive off of a rich history and modern-day political lives. Nailed it. I've lived here my entire life, and the only positive quality I can think of is the fresh, unpolluted air. In other words, it's really boring here. I wish the air was full of toxin. Although it's still better to die of boredom than try to deal with those little brats back at the school. Damn. I never expected for it to end so badly. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I forgot how he sounded. It's even though we're breaking everyone more often than before, we haven't done anything too terrible. Except for kill yourself. I guess that's the risk we took with doing it to a new teacher. Some people take life too seriously. I would let my student kill himself too. The comedian standing next to me, well, in front of me, but I guess next to you, is Aus Eldwine. He's a perverted, narcissistic guy who can't decide whether he loves women or his own reflection more. He calls himself a lady killer. I can confirm that it's true, in a literal sense, from shock and terror usually. Well, to be honest, I know he has a reputation as a womanizer around the school, but from what I've seen, I'm skeptical. He has stuck to me like a parasite ever since I transferred to the school a few years ago. Since then, just like we had a little play, we've wasted our time pulling pranks and being dumbasses together. I'm just faking it, but he has a natural talent for it. Because of our infamous endeavors, no one can take us seriously. That's why we're known as the class clowns above all else. In all the years we've been studying here, we've never gotten into any major trouble. Just sometimes getting lectured or complained at. The fact that Aus, although it may seem impossible, has the highest grade in his class probably has something to do with it. And I'm just a pretty face, I guess. I'm a lucky guy who knows how to escape before the smoke sets off the alarm. But it seems we've scared the new teacher a little too much. Especially by pretending she might have an immoral relationship with a student. And what else should we have expected from an age that places precedence, on political correctness? Real issues are shrugged off while everyone is off living in their own bubbles, dreading that someone may try to pop it. Basically, right now they're discussing where they should chop our heads off and which weapon to use, axe or guillotine. I don't know, I think I enjoy the guillotine better. Because the axe, it just causes a mess. You gotta keep whacking until it comes off and just hurts your wrists. The guillotine's better. I don't regret it though. It really wasn't that bad. They're just too sensitive. Yes. Quite. Hey, are you listening to me? Are you doodling again? Every time I get distracted, you always have your nose in that notebook. There we go. It's impressive how long it can take for Oz to notice his surroundings. Since we left, I've been writing in a small pocket-sized notebook that I always kept with me. And no, I wasn't listening to him. I don't consider it healthy to pay attention to him anyway. I've asked you a couple of times already. Are you gonna show me what you're writing eventually or not? We've been friends for like 6 years? Still, you never let me see it. I puffed and closed the notebook with my thumb and index finger. It's a question that I should expect by now, seeing as this fixation of mine usually catches everyone's eye, or everyone's attention at some point. No, it's not weird to write entries in a diary or to jot down ideas, neither of which was what I was doing. It's only because I do it so often that it's even noteworthy. What am I writing? No, I'll say. Your question isn't correct, seeing as I'm not the only one who's writing anything. It's my hand. It moves it by itself. Every time I have a premonition of a catastrophe, my fingers themselves scribe a future into this notebook. I've been keeping it a secret because of its power. If put in the wrong hands, could be used for evil. Okay. I read that wrong. Catastrophe? Wait a second. Are you... Oh, there's a bad word right there. Such a vulgar... This is so vulgar right now. I'm trying to be kid friendly, yeah? Well, I guess I'll say it since I'm an adult. And kids will say this word one of these days. So... Wait a minute. Are you shitting me? Catastrophe? How? Am I in danger? My friend's verbosity, I think, suddenly accelerated within a second. Meanwhile, I opened the notebook and read what I had just written, then turned my gaze away and bite my lip. Hey, I don't like that face. What did you just read? I hope it's not something harmful to me. Whoa. That scared me. At that very moment I shiver. It was as if lightning had struck me. With no control over my body, I write a short sentence on a new page and then rip it out as the premonition finishes. Okay, now you're really freaking me out. What did you write? I can't tell you. Hand it over. Ase snatches a crumpled sheet of paper away from me. Finally, while trying to keep a composure that he clearly lacks, he reads its contents. The time quickly approaches. Something worse than death will hunt you down. Says it really weird, like. Ah! Voice acting. Huh? I only touched your shoulder. Why'd you jump? Oh. Oh, my favorite guys. I've got good news. What kind of premonition is this, yar? Well, I wrote something worse than death and then Ziva came along. I think it hit the mark. What are you talking about? And why do I get the feeling that it isn't good? Well, let's not get into details. Sierra was just writing his notebook again, and I wanted to know what it was, since he never tells us. Ziva moves her gaze from Ase to me, blinding with a sparkle glim. Wait, whoop! Ziva moves her gaze from Ase to me, blinding me with a sparkle shimmering in her eyes, so brightly that it resembles a lighthouse. Yes, my eyes do not do that because they're black. Oh, so he's dying. Was compulsively writing in his notebook again. I spelled wrong. Can I see what you wrote too, eh? Can I? She tried to steal my pocket-sized notebook by jumping on me. But since I'm used to her trying this kind of thing, I managed to evade her in time and hide it away in my back pocket. Sorry for my reading. Hands off, Sigmund Feud. Oh! Just call her Sigmund Feud. Sigmund. Gee, so unfair. If you won't show it to me, then your treatment will never progress, Idayan. Don't be deceived by her charm and appeal. Ziva Shani is one of the most dangerous species in the entire world, according to the 9 out of 10 experts. I want you to know who these 9 out of 10 people are. While most of my fellow fauna, whatever that means, will tell you the opposite. Wait. While most of my fellow fauna will tell you the opposite, and they're all madly in love with her. To me, Ziva's nothing more than a headache. I mean, just look at it. Just take a look at her. It's like she's straight out of an RPG with those clothes. But since she's attractive, everyone just turns a blind eye. If I had to describe her, I'd say she's a wannabe psychologist, with a touch of insidiousness and deceit, who has also been determined to ruin my life since the very first moment we met earlier this year. Cute. Her dream is to go to college and focus on the studies of the human mind, and what better practice than experimenting with mine first. Somehow, she found out about my habit of scribbling in my notebook, which she described as interesting, and hasn't stopped bugging me since. She described I'd be her test subject. Not a week goes by where she doesn't try to psychoanalyze me or fish my paper scraps out of the trash and read them. Even worse, sometimes she tries to steal my notebook so she can discover its secrets. At least now she calls me by my surname. Before that, I was just patient to her. Aw. The only thing that needs to be treated is your head, Diva. Well, what were you going to say before you attacked me? Oh yes, I almost forgot. I snuck into the teacher's lounge and gave them my biggest, saddest puppy dog eyes so I could pacify them, and blah blah blah. They only gave me the usual speech and sent me away. Aren't I lucky? Well, that should have been expected. It wasn't that bad. I guess I won't be scolded again this time either. Huh? I wasn't talking about you guys, just me. Then what part of that exactly do you call good news? I thought you'd be happy for me, Idayan. Idayan? I spelled the name wrong. Looks like you spelled it wrong. I didn't. You spelled it wrong. I didn't expect you to react so selfishly. Come on, they can't be that hard on us. If they let Ziva get away with it, then our fate will probably be the same. We've done worse things day after day and nothing has ever happened, right? Yes, worse things than killing yourself in the middle of class. And from a substitute teacher. There's nothing more worse than that. Wait, or a lot of things are worse than that, I don't know. Yeah, you just spelled the name wrong. Gotta get them eyes checked. Yeah, but this time, it was all the master plan of this lady right here, who also insisted on participating in one of our operations with us. And she doesn't even care what happens to her comrades now. Seriously? That explains why Ziva would participate with us in all this, but it was you who owed me one, Idayan, so stop complaining. Plus, I was just messing with you. I wouldn't really hang out with you to dry. Wait, I wouldn't. Nope, did I wrong? I wouldn't really hang you out to dry. You don't have to worry about anything. The substitute is angry, but the rest of the staff didn't really take it seriously. No, because multiple students like to kill themselves in the middle of class. The only thing you've got to do now is apologize to her and shed some crocodile tears to show how very sorry you are. And you're finished. See how easy it is? I can't believe you don't trust me, Diane. You have such little faith in me. Little to none. Anyways, that was the bare minimum. You could have done with Anyways, that was the bare minimum you could have done since you were involved, so stop grumbling. I did help you though, so I want a favor in return. Can you come with me to... Request denied. No favors. Jeez. Come on, what's with the long faces? Remember how less than a month final begins. Oh, less fighting and more having a good time so we can leave this place with a good impression, okay? By the way, Ziva, what kind of favor did he owe you? If you don't mind my asking. I think this is the first time I've heard of CI owing anyone a favor without a bet somehow being involved. Hell, not too long ago, he wouldn't do anything unless there was a bet involved. It's just like Carpe Diem. Like, their postures don't change, but their faces do. Cool. Oh, it was nothing. I just asked my uncle if he knew about a certain package, since he worked at the post office. Speaking of which, you never did tell me what that was all about. You told me you'd explain it another time. I fold my arms in and raise an eyebrow, resigning myself to answer despite my clear lack of interest. It's kind of a bad I know this word. It's kind of a bad antidote. But I guess we don't have the time anyways. My throat hurts a lot. But us and Ziva looked at me expectantly. Their interest can't be more apparent. I initially resist, but end up yielding to the pressure. Yes. Alright, I'll tell you everything. But I'm warning you, it's such a depressing love story. A love story? You don't have to tell the entire world, you know. I wasn't aware that my young peers around. Yep. Had already become a man. It must have been due to my benevolent influence. Tell me, what kind of person is willing to put up with your eccentricity, compahero? Mio? Spanish words. Hey, I always put up with you and don't complain. I always put up with you and I don't complain. Quit joking around. But you complain every single day. Like you was just complaining about this whole conversation we were having about whatever we was doing just a second ago. You didn't say that. Could you please stop beating around the bush? Okay. Straight to the point, I get it. I clear my throat before starting. That's how I cleared his throat. Let's see. It all started this one night. I was inside my warm and comfortable room. But your room... Oh, look at that. But your room is a pigsty. I've seen it. Warm and comfortable, as I said. Well, let's see here. How much time have I put into this? 90 minutes? Alright, I'm gonna end this here, yeah? So, next time, we're gonna get into a love story. Ain't that some great stuff, yeah? So I hope you enjoyed it. And, remember, world. I forgot. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed what I just did. And I'll be back next Wednesday with a surprise, yeah? My dog's on my bed. So, have fun, kids. And remember, we love you, world.